What's up YouTubers and RC family? I'm just doing another update on the strategy that I put out yesterday using the area key for the auto tables. Now this is something that I haven't really played around with. I did okay, I kind of showed a profit. I went on there again and I took another £30 profit, but during my gameplay I saw something on the table which just didn't look right. And I've seen this a lot with auto tables. There's a lot of other videos out there and it just doesn't look right, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of these tables are very, very scamming. I mean, take a look at this clip for example. What the hell was that? I mean, I had something similar on my gameplay yesterday, and I really want to show you exactly what happens. And the only way I could really kind of give this a reference, if we're doing a movie reference, would be for this clip right here. So firstly, I want you to take note how small and shallow the riffles are on the table. And look how this ball stops. It is insane. Let's watch that one more time. To be fair, I got the win, and I've seen from yesterday so many people have been posting. They've used this system on auto tables as well, and they've showed that they've got a lot of wins as well. The thing that concerns me is when I look at a strategy, I want something that is scalable. So if it's working with 50p and £1 per number bets, I want to be able to up that to sort of 5, 10, £15 per number, and then obviously reap the rewards a lot faster. But I think as soon as you start increasing the amount that you're betting on, you're going to start seeing the ball behave slightly different and you're going to lose. So just keep that. So I am going to share the full clip of my gameplay yesterday, but I just want you to be careful if you're going to be betting on auto tables. We find that using the live dealers is far more consistent. So take that advice and do with it what you will. But here's... What's up guys, Ed Clark back, giving this auto roulette another test just to see if it is consistent or not. So we're going to track 19 numbers, put the start betting at 0, and I'm just going to track the last numbers that I can see out there. So 14 went to 23, which was in the highlighted. 23 went to number 3, which is not in the highlighted. Then it went to 27, which again is not in the highlighted. 27 went to 32. Again, that's not in the highlighted. 32 went to 21, which is in the highlighted zone. 21 went to 18, which isn't. 18 went to 25, again that isn't. 25 went to 13, which is in the highlighted. And then that went to 8, again that's in the highlighted. 8 went to 24, which again is in the highlighted. 24 went to 14, so you can see there are definitely blocks happening here. Then that went to 19, which is not in the highlighted. So let's have a look at the table. So you can see there's a block there where it isn't got a 0 in a row, and now we've got a block that has got zeros. So yeah, definitely seeing patterns emerge from this. So let's have a look. We're 19. Is that going to land in the outside section again? Yes, it has, 22. So you can see now we're on a depth of 2. So we had a block of 3 in a row where it didn't go highlighted to highlighted zone. Then we had a block that it went to the highlighted zone and then back to the highlighted and then back to the highlighted. And now we're getting the opposite again, where it's going into a higher depth. So this is interesting to watch. It's quite different to how we typically use the area key, where we're looking for one sort of set trend there that's happening. But I'm gonna log several results and to see if we can decipher a pattern that would be worth us making some bets on. So we're currently at a depth of 2. going into the unhighlighted zone again. So we're on a depth of 3 now. So you can see here we had well, that was actually a 0, the first one. So we had a depth of 3, then a depth of 2, then we had 0, 0, and now we're on a depth of 3 again. So yeah, I mean, the only way I could see betting on this at the moment is if it misses the highlighted zone, then it would be worth betting on the unhighlighted zone again. So it's not that conclusive at the moment. I do want to watch a few more results after this comes out. It definitely seems to follow in a trend. Okay, so we are back in the highlighted zone now, so that clears that out. So depth of 0 again, but you can see here depth of 3, depth of 2, then we've got a block of 0s, and now we're on a depth of 3 again. Let's see if it goes past a 0, see if it lands in the unhighlighted zone straight away. So anywhere from number 24 to number 0 on this top row here. So let's have a look. Where's that gone? That's gone to number 5, so that just hit the highlighted there. So that has gone to another 0. Okay, so you can see here, added a block of 3 and then went to a 0. Now, yeah, I'm curious. So if it misses the highlighted section, it might be worth putting a bet on the non-highlighted section again. I'll just have to watch and see. Okay, so now it is following its trend of the highlighted. So it is doing another block of the 0s again, by the looks of it. So when it's doing something like this, it could just be worth following where it's just landed. So if it landed on the highlighted, you follow it with the highlighted and then the highlighted. Then if it lands on the unhighlighted, you then switch your bets to the unhighlighted again. The only time you wouldn't want to do that is if it's chopping between the two. But it does seem to be hitting in blocks, like we've had 3 highlights in a row and then 3 non-highlights in a row. Now we're currently on 2 highlights in a row. Let's see if it makes the hat trick. In the previous video, okay, so that landed right next to it again, so 33. So that's now on a depth of 1. So what I would be inclined to do now is put a bet on the non-highlighted section of the board from 28 around like this, simply because it seems to go past a depth of 1. So you can see a depth of 3 there, depth of 2. I've had a couple instances like that, and then it seems to do blocks of the highlighted. I'm just going to try this and see what happens. Okay, that looks good. So that's 17, so that's given us the win there. So now we're currently on a depth of 2. So this is where it's a bit dodgy. We've seen it go to a depth of 3 twice, but it has hit the highlighted section on a depth of 2, but I'm going to give it a try. I'll cover to number 3 like this. So we're going on the unhighlighted section again, see if we can get that to a depth of 3. Oh, it was close. Yeah, it hit 2 of the diamonds there, so that went to number 4. So that was the highlighted section again. But it gave us a depth of 2 there. Now, I'll be interested to see if it does a couple more highlighted in a row, or if it just jumps back into the non-highlighted section, which is giving us the high depths like this. Typically, because I'm just flat betting, I'm not doing a progression. We need to see it hit a couple of wins in a row for it, to get the profit out of this. Okay, so yeah, it's gone to the unhighlighted section again. So I'm going to put the bet on again and see, and just hope it goes past a depth of 1. So I'm going to cover from 31 around to number 25. Okay, that looks good. I mean, the way it stopped dead then on 26, it looked very much like a magnet, but it gave us the win, so I'll take that. So now it's on a depth of 2. This is where it got me last time, but we have seen a couple of depths at 3 come out, so I am going to give it another chance and go from 31 right round to 17 there. So this unhighlighted section once again. So we had a depth of 3, then 2, depth of 3, then 2. And we're currently on a depth of 2 again, so. So definitely looking for the tier section. Opposite side of 0. That looks like it couldn't have got any closer to 0. Maybe it could just by a couple. So that's gone to 15. So yeah, it did exactly the same. It's done the depth of 2 twice for me in a row. But I'm going to stick to the non-highlighted and hope that these zeros were just a sort of one-off jobby. And if I can get away with a win and then a win, then I'll sit out and wait for it to come in again. Let's see if we can do it that way. Okay, so we got 36, so that's given us a win. So we're going to cover from number 1 this time. We got in there at the beginning. So I'm hoping we get at least a depth of 2 again. In fact, if a depth of 2 comes out and I get the win, I will just sit out and watch the table a little bit more. So currently on a depth of 1. We've only ever seen it go to a depth of 3 or depth of 2 in all of the instances, and then we've seen a few blocks of zeros in between. I want to see it land around 0 or before. Okay, that looks good, number 22. So that's given us the win again. So now we're on a depth of 2. Now this is where I kind of messed up both times by betting on the unhighlighted section. So I'm going to watch this and see if it carries on to the depth of 3 or if it lands on the highlighted zone. And I am tempted to put the bet on the highlighted section, but I'm just going to watch it. And it went to 16, so yeah, it would have hit the highlighted, so that's gone to a depth of 2 3 times in a row now. Look here, depth of 2, depth of 2, depth of 2. So now I'm not too sure what to do because the board is quite scattered. We have seen a couple of blocks, but they do seem to be hitting together, which is what I like to see, but not in a big mass like it did in the previous video. So I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if this this holds any merit. Auto tables, like I said, I much prefer a live dealer, but I am interested in testing it out to see if there are any patterns with the auto table. So keep an eye on it and just see what happens. As I always say, you don't have to bet every spin. Most of the job, especially when using the calculators, is analysing the tables constantly. So yeah, I mean, it did go to 34, which has gone back into the unhighlighted zone. So I might give it another bet now in the unhighlighted. So it hasn't gone to a depth of 1 yet, but there is always a first time for everything. So I'm betting on the unhighlighted zone again. Just because it's currently at a depth of 1 and we haven't seen any 1s before. Now bear in mind that 1 at the beginning, that was actually a 0. So it went 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, 3, 2, 2, 2. Now it's currently on a depth of 1. So I'm just kind of following the trend that the table seems to be showing with this the area key calc. And yeah, it looks like I got destroyed on that one. That actually went to a depth of 1 for the first time. There's no problem. We're still in profit, so you can see there's a nice block of 4 there. I'm going to watch it again because if I can get away with that just being a one-off, then it'll be worth just putting a bet on every time we see it saying a depth of 1. Okay, so that's on 0, so yeah, that's gone to a depth of 1 again. So I'm going to risk it again and see if it will go past a depth of 1, and just see if that one there was a unlucky spin. So we're going to go from number 9 around, like that. So most of the thing that we're going to have to do with using the area key on the auto table is just analyze a whole bunch of different collections of spin data from them, and just see if we do see any patterns or any trends with the auto table, sorry, and see if we can cash in on that. So we're looking for the tier section. That looks good. Yeah, we just got it, number 6. And so we'll carry on rolling a little bit. That's given us the win again. Now it's at a depth of 2, so it's one of them things. You could bet on the highlighted section, but don't know with this. You could just carry on. But this is now a block of 5 in a row that hasn't had a 0 in between them. So that's typically what I was looking at on the previous video, and this one did have a block of 3 zeros and then 2 there, but if you look at it, it does seem very blocky. It's not like a 0 then a 1 then a 0 then a 3. They do seem to be coming in groups. And again, yeah, it would have been a win if I went on the highlighted section for that. So you can see here, 2, 2, 1, 2. So yeah, it's interesting, definitely interesting to see it hitting blocks like this. I just want to see if we get another 0 in a row. So that hasn't happened for five sessions. Okay, again, it is really following a trend here. So I'm going to go on the unhighlighted zone again. I hope we get that depth of 2 again. So I mean, look at that. It's like 2, 2, 2, 1, 2. If we look here, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 5 would have been losses if I was just betting on the get-go, just on the unhighlighted there. You can see it land after 35, just past 0. That looks good for us. Number 19. So it's gone to depth of 2 again. Still a bit nervous betting on a depth of 2. But we should try and follow the trend. So I'll give it a blast. I'll put it on number 19. So we're betting on the highlighted section now. Just following the past trend. It seems once it gets to a depth of 2, it is coming in on the highlighted section. But of course, one of these could just carry on going higher, depth of 3, 4, 5, you don't know. The joys of the highlighted, unhighlighted area key. Okay, So that was perfect, but it just rolled back, if you saw that. It was a bit of a nasty one there for me. That went to 36. So it carried on with the unhighlighted, but it was just by 1, which sucked a little bit. But now it's done a depth of 3 again, so I'm going to carry on watching. Okay, looks like it's gone to the highlighted now finally to clear that out. So I'm gonna take a risk now and go straight in on the unhighlighted section, just because that's what the data is telling us. Of course, I know it's going to go 0, 0 at some point, but I think if I go straight in and then follow it up with the unhighlighted bet and then sit out, I would be monopolizing on quite a lot of wins. I'd have 2 wins, 2 wins, 2 wins, 2 wins, 2 wins, 2 wins, and then of course I would have had these losses here. So I'm going to carry on with that trend and just be betting on the unhighlighted section from the get-go as soon as that depth goes to 0. Okay, so that's good for us. Went to 33, so we got the win on that one. So now I would follow the unhighlighted section again because we're on a depth of 1. So I'm going to cover from 28 round. Bit of a nasty spin there. I went to 18, so we didn't have the win on that one. It just went to a depth of 1 again. But I'm going to go straight back in. Now it's on a depth of 0 again, just to see if it carries on with this block. So we're going to cover from number 15 round. Okay, it went to 20, so it has done the 2 zeros in a row. As you can see here, so it's kind of finished off on that block now. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to carry on with it because out of all of those, you would see that it's definitely hit a lot more. Oh, I just missed it, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, it might do another run of like 3 in a row like this, or 2, but we are seeing a lot more grouping together with the unhighlighted zone. We'll have a look in this one. Yeah, I would have got the win there, but unfortunately I was a bit too late. So I'm going to carry on just for one more bet and hope that it goes past a depth of 1. So we'll cover from 28. Yeah, looking at that, it would make more sense just betting on a depth of 0 each time, and then just taking the zeros as a loss there. That went to 16, so we did get the win on that. That's gone to a depth of 2, so I'm going to wait for the win to come in again. Obviously, you can see that's 0. It's now currently on a depth of 2, so I'm going to wait for that to go to 0. And then I will bet on the unhighlighted. So if you look here, we'd have had win, 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 win. We would have had 5 losses, 6 including that one actually. It would have given us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins. So that's all we're after, is just hitting more wins than losses. I know it is tempting to chase the unhighlighted wins up. Like you can see there, depths of 3 and stuff, you get a couple of wins in a row, but it's not like the live dealers. So you can see there, that went to number 8, so that would have been a loss if we did that. But I'm going to go onto the unhighlighted zone now, because that's now back at a depth of 0 again. So I'm going to come from 31 and we will go round. Just notice the time, my babysitter leaves at 5 PM, so I'm going to have to make this my last spin, unfortunately. Let's hope it's a winning one. Around 0. Come on. You know you want to. Yeah, looks good. Number 3. Okay, so we got the win there. I do have to wrap it up, unfortunately. We're at £49.50, so it made like a £20 profit. But before I go, let me just enter in that number there. You can now see it's on a depth of 1 again. So you can see here, I mean, there is definite trends on the spins here. You saw like just this section here, we had a block of zeros, but for the most part, it's just been big blocks of numbers following. So obviously that goes non-highlighted, and then highlighted, which puts it on the next line. So what we're doing is, as soon as it's saying a depth of 0, that's when we're making the bet, or this is what we should have done. As soon as it says a depth of 0, we make the bet. And then as soon as the win comes in, we wait for this number just to go back down to 0, and then we start betting on the unhighlighted section again. It worked on the last time I tried that, and it also worked on this one. I mean, you can see there, the depths do carry on going higher. It's at a depth of 2 again now. So we are seeing it go in blocks. We see a lot of depths of 2, 3s, which... again, like if you've got any ideas, I'm just playing around with different concepts right now, but the guys on Roulette calculators, you play around with this a lot. Let me know if you think there's some sort of strategy that we can do with this. I know I do prefer using live dealers. Typically when you find one that's got a trend, it's a bit more consistent. However, I am finding the auto tables to be showing a good consistency as well. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and hit that bell notification. And if you're not a member of Roulette Calculators, click on the link below and set yourself up a free account, and then you can chat to myself and other people on the network.
With that said, take care guys, and bet smart.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to say again, be careful when betting on auto tables. They're not as predictable as live dealers. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and leave your comments below. Let me know what you're thinking and let me know your thoughts on auto tables, and if you've ever noticed some crazy sort of magnetic bulls or whatever. So I will speak to you soon. Take care guys.